right. Okay, yeah, we'll just get right into it. Hello, hello. Hi, hi. Welcome to my channel. Today is Saturday, so we're doing a little bit of game dev. Mostly for me to get back into practice, Godot, and just make games because I haven't done that in a really long time. And it was actually pretty fun last week being able to do that. Yeah. So today I'm continuing with my lesson prep for the summer. So last week we did a little dodge game, very simple introduction to very basic drawing and very, very basic movement controls. Today we're going to take it a little bit further and excuse me, we're going to do a little platformer game today. So the second day game that we usually teach is how to get their own little sprite. And we work with tile sprites for the mapping as well. So that's going to be more focused on the graphic element, with the code being more or less the same as introduced this last week. So we'll start off with the graphics. I actually have no idea what I really wanted to do this time. Normally for this, to help get the kids encouraged, I would have them replicate a character that they're familiar with. So something like Toad or Paper Mario or Kirby, something really easy and simple to replicate. But I think for the sake of the stream, I'm gonna try to draw something a little bit more original. So we're gonna start off with planning out what that game is going to look like. I don't normally do this with the second day demo game with my students, but this is more for me, so I can take the 5 minutes it takes to kind of plan out what this game is going to look like. And if you're curious how I go about doing it, for most of my games I start off with something I refer to as the mini game design doc, and that's just a sheet of paper I normally fold into 4 squares, but since I'm streaming, I might as well just do it on the screen in Inkscape. So I'm just going to start off with dividing the screen into four quadrants. Just going to use the Bezier pen tool for this. So hot dog and then hamburger fold. Right. Now I'm going to use... I don't like using the pencil tool, but I'm going to do it for this because it's quicker and easier. So this part is normally where we do the title of the game. I don't really have a title right now, but I'll just call it platformer. Oh. Let's turn off snap. And here we talk about the game type, which is platformer. Ugh. Writing is too big. Let's zoom in a little bit. Platformer. Theme. Most of my art theme is more geared towards like a Candyland kind of thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna write candy here. Middle columns usually reserved for core mechanics. So things I absolutely must have. in order for the game to function, essentially. Actually, do I divide it this way anymore? No, not really. So core mechanics. Core mechanics. Oops, the M, wrong letter. Core mechanics. So I'm obviously gonna need left-right movements. I'm just gonna say LR for this. That's one. I'm gonna need jumping. And I might do a pickup, a collectible of sorts. I might leave it for that for the demo. Here are stretch goals, which we won't really have any for the demo game. Or actually, maybe I could write down like what would I do if this wasn't a demo. So do lives. Oh, if there's collectibles, there's gonna be score. So I'm gonna put score over here. Lives, enemies, and actually, it might just be that. All right, over here, controls, so I can map out what I'm planning to use. So classic up arrow, down arrow. Gee, do I need a down arrow? No. So up arrow, left, or right, left. Bump, right. Rules. Reach. End of level. Map. That's it. Assets. What do I need to draw? Well, I'm obviously gonna need map tiles. And then maybe a tiling background. Collectible. Well, actually, what kind of... Oh, of the map tiles. Do chocolate. It's a candy theme. Not chocolate. Bubblegum. Soda pop. And... yeah, maybe we'll leave it at that for now. Player. What kind of player do I want? I want something that I can draw really quickly and then animate really quickly as well. Ooh, let's do maybe a Marshmallow Kitty. Whoops. Marshmallow Kitty. And I guess Kitty can just pick up some jelly beans. Yeah, let's do jelly beans. Put these a bit down. Um, I'm gonna set my Steam status, sorry. Do not disturb. Okay. Alright, this is good. I have direction now, so I'll save this. Platformer demo plans. And let's start drawing our graphics. So Marshmallow Kitty, we'll do that one first. And I'm gonna want to set the dimensions of my document so I can keep it within, I can start drawing within scale. So let's set this to pixels. And I might want the character to be like at most 100 by 100. So not too big in game. Right. So Marshmallow Kitty. Marshmallow Kitty. I get a pose reference if I can from something. Okay, do a rough sketch then. I think it's easier if I do a pencil drawing here and then print it into Inkscape. That's gonna be a marshmallow, right? So I'm gonna need to make it a little bit more blocky, something like that. Big marshmallow body. A little tail. And then little mini marshmallow legs. Yeah, that should be easy enough to draw and then animate. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss that and throw this in. Alright, I got a thing to kind of work with. So I'm gonna call this one reference. Alright, let's do the vector form for it now. So it is square-ish, so I'll just work with the squares. No fill, black outline. Maybe a little bit curved. I don't need it to be super sharp corners. Pixels. Start off with 1 pixel for my lines and then I'll thicken them out depending on how cartoony I want it to look. I want bigger marshmallows actually for that. Tail. Do this. Ears. And yeah, we'll just smooth this out, curve it. I love vectors. It just makes everything so much easier. Because I am terrible at drawing. By hand anyways. Like, put a piece of paper in front of me and then tell me to draw. I cannot draw. Looks okay, and then we'll replicate to the other side. This is on the back side, so it could be a little bit smaller. I don't know. I guess we'll find out when I color it. Eyes. I'm just gonna use circle tool. Little nose. Maybe I want the symmetrical one. Nope, I don't want snap-on. There we go. Okay, that's looking decent enough. And then do this onto the other side. Okay, so we'll start coloring, and then this will be considered frame 1 for this character. Actually, maybe I don't need the inside of the ears. It won't be as necessary. It feels like they're a little really tall too. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. Scooch it over that side. Okay, so Marshmallow Kitty's almost done. Let's fill it in. And black stroke lines, yes. And let's change up the order here. Go. This one and this one are back legs. Okay, so this can go behind. This, I want it to be part of this, so I'm just gonna combine these two paths. There we go. Make this an off-white. Ooh, actually, maybe a toasty brown color. Make it look like it's a burnt marshmallow. Not a fan of these colors. Let me blend my own instead. That one looks nice. Yeah, we'll go with that one. That one's a little too far over. Okay. I'm gonna go for a more cartoony look, so let's thicken these outlines. Pixels. Let's go with 3. Let's see how that looks. Okay, it's not bad. Make these ones thicker as well. All right, there's my character for the platformer. Temporary group this. And because this is going to be animated, I'm going to make sure I can center it really well and place it on the ground and all that jazz. So when I do the frames, they actually line up and aren't off-centered of each other. Okay. And let's see what I've got so far. So, Marshmallow Kitty. I'm gonna group the head. I don't need to move it all that much, so I'll do that. Okay. So frame 1. I'll call this one frame 1. Now let's duplicate and do frame 2. So for the platformer, I am gonna want maybe an idle animation, so the Marshmallow Kitty just bobbing up and down. I'm definitely gonna need a few frames of Marshmallow Kitty walking, and for a jump, I'm gonna need to do a jump animation as well, just a still frame of it in the air. I'm not gonna go too crazy fancy for this, just a marking animation. I don't need all the finer in between frames. So let's do the idle one first, because that should be easy peasy enough. I think I'll just have Marshmallow Kitty Bob down a smidge. Yeah. And all right, let's talk about moving, which actually I don't want to be copying the lower frame. I want to be copying this one here. Three. Change to order. So for this, I'm gonna want to rotate, but I don't want to rotate in the mid-center. I'm gonna change the rotation points on these here. I don't even know if this is correct, but whatever. Maybe I should look it up. Ah. I got a frame moving away. And frame a bit inwards. Go to the backside one first. All right. So when it's in this position, I'm also going to want it probably a little bit higher. And then for this one, it does dip down outside of my frame, but instead of moving legs up, I'll just do this. Alright, so I got a couple of moving frames, my idle frames, and now let's do a jump frame as well. Number 5. too high up there. Oh, just about fitting. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So we've got the character. We now need a file for the tile maps as well. With each tile being like maybe 100 by 100, and I don't want that many tiles because I want to keep it really quick and easy. So let's just do the, how many tiles did I plan for? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna want platforms too, so I'm gonna throw those in. Let's get sticks. Okay, so 1, 2, 3.5. So we'll make the tile height 100 and 3.5, so 400 pixels. And we'll make a grid so we can tell which one's which. 100 by 100. Oh, millimeters, that's why. There we go. That makes more sense. Oops. So chocolate. Look at that. Already has a has a brown color, but we'll make it a little bit smaller. And a little bit on the darker side too. Oh. Slightly milkier, and then we'll do the color outlines as well. Make it a nice little subtle pop there, and then I'm also going to add the little lines. One's for snapping to grid. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, chocolate tile done. Candy tile maps. Next one, bubblegum. Bubblegum is pink. We'll do the little shiny glaze to it. Oops. Okay, that looks pretty good for bubblegum. So I'll leave it like that. Next one, soda pop. And just be carbonated water, really. So we can do like a nice little light blue. Actually. Two 5.25. Pretty big pen tool. That one? No. What about brush? Will brush give me what I want? No, not really either. Yeah, let's go with dip pen, half. Can I use pixels? Pixels, yeah, let's use pixels for this. Not a fan of the end tips though. Maybe I do need to use something else. No. At this point, it's just easier if I draw a rectangular shape. Well, not rectangular, but something like this. And we'll remove the stroke. No stroke. Fill. And we'll do this. We'll do this and this. And this. This end looks a little pointed, which it shouldn't. So let's move that out a smidge. Okay, that looks pretty decent. And now copy paste. All right, so we got chocolate, bubblegum, soda. And the last one, I want it to be like a floating platform. So I will make just do like a cookie or something like that. Yeah, not very inspired for the platform, but that will do. Okay, so we got our player. We've got the tile maps now. I'll deal with collectibles a little bit later. I think this is enough to get started with the game though, so save that. And I think for the animation, I do need them to be exported out. I haven't been able to use a SVG in a singular file. I'm gonna delete this layer because I don't need anymore. So let's export. Export my page out to 100 pixels. Frame 2. Frame 3. Oops. tile map, I think I can leave it as an SVG, so I'll leave it. Alright, so new game, new project. Save this on my desktop so it's easy for me to find. A folder called Marshmallow, or actually platformer demo, and 2D, so 2D should be good enough. And I'm gonna go ahead and start organizing my content. So there's the default stuff. Sprites. Actually, I'm just gonna call it graphics. We'll need one for fonts. Need one for my scenes. And one for my scripts. Okay, so these can go into graphics. These are saved, so I'll just close them. Then I'm going to leave platformer demo plans. Oh, where did my tile map get saved to? Oh. Okay. Alright, so all the stuff should now be in Godot. Perfect. Okay, so let's see, how are they planning this? So main, and from here I'm gonna need something for my character. Kinematic, and I'm using an animated sprite this time, not a regular one. Okay, call this one idle. Frame 1, and I think frame 2. Alright, so going way too fast. Let's drop it down to 2. No, that's still going quite fast for what it is. Yeah. So we'll do 1 frame per second. That's good enough for the idle. We set up a running animation, so let's do running next. So I will need the first frame in. I'll leave the third frame next. Oh, do I even need the 4th frame? I mean, it still looks cute. Like it's actually running, so maybe I'll keep that. Do I need a frame in between, actually? No, that looks kind of awkward, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And then I need my jumping, which, if I recall, even though it's 1 frame, it's still nice to set up, because then you can call it by this animation sequence. it as that. And everything's centered. Perfect. Okay, so that was easy enough. Let me make sure I rename this player. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna turn off playing. So I can focus on setting the collision without it getting distracting. Collision should be able to just follow the shape of this character. Box would probably work just fine. Or maybe a capsule. Capsule might work better because if I'm jumping and also doing these other collisions. Oh, it'll be good to have like the rounded corners to kind of like shave off the harder shapes. So capsule. But let me do the sideways. Interesting. Okay. Not too concerned about the tail being in the collision bounds. Nah, I think a box would be better. Is okay, I think that's fair coverage. And now let's turn on the parental lock so I don't keep grabbing things by the collision bounds or the character bounds, and then everything gets out of alignment. Great. Okay, so we got our character. Now let's see what's next on the lesson plan. The lesson plan was WASD configuration. Okay. Nah. I think I'm gonna keep it with the left-right movement because that's kind of what I already had planned for. So we'll stick with that. And let's start scripting. So player, I'm gonna move it to about here. And add script. Player. I'm gonna throw it into the scripts folder though. And you know me, I want it empty. Because I prefer to create my own notes. My own pseudocode, so... Alright. We got the scripts now. Okay, and I'm gonna remove my tablet because it's kind of in the way. So I need my variables and constants here. And then my updating process function. And then within there, left, right, LR input. I'm gonna need one for my jump input later. And then that's just receiving the input, so I'm gonna need one to render input on screen. That should be it for the player to start. Variables. I'm gonna need velocity. And that is moving my vectors in the 2D dimensions. This one, function, is the physical object. So physics process delta. I know. Just give me some time to type. If input is action pressed, because I want it to be able to move as long as I have it pressed. UI left. Then I want my velocity in the X direction, subtract 10 pixels over time. And while I'm at it, might as well do the opposite direction. Else if input is action. Right. Going the opposite way. Else squat. Whoops. Velocity dot x equals 0. So that's just programming what it should do, not to get it to actually do that. Move and slide based on velocity. Oh, I haven't saved my scene yet. That's important too, so save that. Alright. And let's preview this. Alright, so Marshmallow Kitty does move. Great. And what about jump? Just want it to launch into the air. So if input is action pressed, Y. And I think the screen goes, the top corner is 0, 0, so I'd want to subtract. Alright. That's to be expected. It's moving, but if I don't want it to like infinitely launch in the air, I'm gonna need gravity, which should be before any of my inputs. I want it to be updating it constantly first, so gravity. And yes, I know it's gonna go off screen, but at least I know this much of it works. Because the rest of it, the detection to ground, all that, I still have to do. So, but without the environment getting in the way and distracting, we were able to quickly code the character, so that's great. Next is the map. We'll put together the map next. So map requires tile map. And for this tile set, I'm going to need a new tile set. And where did I put it? I didn't put it in my graphics folder yet. So let's do that. Or did I? How to remember how to do this. My tile sets. Yeah, because I am blanking. I remember being able to basically Mario paint the tiles in, but I don't remember how to set up the tiles. So I need to read through this a little bit, figure it out. Okay. I need a new single tile based off of region. That's one. Although I think the tiles are showing up off grid, so I think I need to adjust this. So there we go. So it's not 32. Gee, let's do them in 25s. Because then my platform can also be properly mapped. There we go. Alright, so that's one tile, tile number 2, tile number 3, and then tile number 4. And then if I want these to be interactive, I will also need collision. So that one's done. Can I do this one next? Here we go. And this one. And last one. Okay. So they each have their own collision. So that's that for the tile set. Now for this bit here. Cells, I want them to be 100 by 100. Oh, did I have to? Oh, I guess I have to save the tile sets. Whoops. Alright, let's do this again. Okay, is that it, or do I have to do anything else special with it? I go here. Oh, there we go. It's like, why wasn't it showing? Here it is now. My world seems really tiny, so let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Project settings. And where is it? Is it environment? No, not environment. Display window. Make it 1200, and I'm gonna make this 800. Okay. And yeah, I guess now I'm just gonna map out my map. And we'll leave it at this for now. And Kitty's gonna go through? No, Kitty does not go through. It's collision bound's already on. Great. Okay. So that works. Now I want to fix it so that Kitty does not triple jump into infinity. I might even just remove double jump for the sake of it to keep this really easy. So I'm going to do a check if the input is up, but also if it's on the floor. So if is on floor, and do this and this. Oh, and I guess my velocity dot y in the 0 position, just make sure it's 0 so I don't accidentally jump up or continue falling. Doesn't seem to be working now. Why? So if it's on floor, yeah, velocity in the y direction would be 0. I want to just otherwise. Do I actually need that though? Why? Okay, so some reason it is not jumping. Why? Yeah, I'm a little confuzzled. I don't know why the jump is not working anymore. Does that have to do with my tiles? Hmm. Yeah, I am not sure why this isn't working. Let me try it again without the is on floor. Oh, hello, and thank you for the follow, Bency Merrick. I hope that I said that right. Welcome to my channel. Yeah, today is just a game dev day. I'm struggling to relearn Godot. So yeah, we're just making a platformer for today. But thank you for coming in. Oh, and thank you for the follow, CPT Fubar. Yeah, I have a feeling that's the case too. Um, what's the quickest way to comment out multiple lines again? I can't remember. Okay, is that it? Yeah, there we go. So I have, okay, yeah, so this here works just fine. It's when I hit is on floor, it is not fine. See if I even need that one. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Am I gonna assume it's Captain Fubar or should I say CPT Fubar? Okay, so Captain Fubar. So right now, trying to figure out why my jump's not working when I am touching the ground. Three. Yeah, 'cause apparently, I don't know if it's a version issue, but in the past, uh, would I have to define up when it's just velocity? So it would account for both directions, X and Y. Ah, okay. Yeah, I should have just kept reading the lesson notes. Okay, so constants up. Thank you for that. I knew there was something missing. I just couldn't remember what it was. Okay, so we determine which direction is up. So y axis in the negative direction. Right, so there we go. Marshmallow Kitty is now back to jumping and not infinitely double jumping. Just exactly what we need. And let's just, oh, since that's working, I'm gonna remove this. I don't need anymore. And I'm actually going to create one more constant. So I can determine how fast my character moves. And not have to retype it in multiple places. Okay. All right, so movement going. Now let's clean up the sprites because my cat is moonwalking in reverse whenever I'm going in the right direction instead of left. And that's just calling that up here. There's no reason to make separate scripts, left-right detection scripts for that. H. So when going left, my sprites flipping along the flipping horizontally is false, but if going right, I do want to flip. That way I don't have to reanimate. Just to have, whoops, right facing sprites. Ooh, hi. Nice to welcome to the channel, Andres Saltv. Andres Altv. I'm assuming that's how I'm supposed to say it. And thank you. Yeah. I think Godot is a very underrated engine, and it's actually nice to see more people getting into it. Hooray! Yeah, it kind of bothers me when I say names incorrectly. And it's also, as an educator, I have many students who tends to correct me, so I get into the habit of making sure I say everyone's name right. And if not right the first time, to at least get it going right away. Yeah. Okay, anyways. Getting back into this. Just got the sprites. Hopefully. We'll see if the code works. Left. And right. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So now Marshmallow Kitty faces the correct direction. I might change the speed to go back to 10 because it's going a little too fast for my preference for now. Okay, so we got left and right going. Excellent. Next is jump. I went through the trouble of animating that, so I should include it. Yeah, my actual name is also very tricky to say for most English speakers. At Starbucks, I kind of just give up and I just throw out a random name. Usually Aria or Emily or Daisy or Tiffany or Ivy. Just whatever is going to be easy enough for the baristas to say. And it's really funny when I sit there for a whole day doing work and I go get a refill and they're like, I thought your name was this. And I was like, a name is a name. And thank you. Yeah, I wanted a quick and easy character to animate. So I was like, Kitty made of marshmallows. Bunch of boxes. That should be easy enough. All right, now, lesson plan says before the jump, we want to make sure we got the running animation loaded up correctly. So the animation scene right now, it automatically goes into running, but I actually do have an animation cycle for when it's not moving. It's supposed to just be bobbing up and down. So let's differentiate when it's supposed to be playing. Play, no, play. Yeah, play. And I named it running. So that one. And it's the same code for this one. So I'm just gonna copy paste because I am lazy in that sense. Do the same here, but I'm gonna change this to idle. Right. So we got the right animations loaded. Now that I see it in game in contrast to the movement, I think I'm going to change the idle to be 2 frames a second instead of the 1. And then running's 5, but what happens if I use 6? Okay, that's a little bit better. This is 1 frame, so I'll just set it as 1 frame. Okay, so back to this. We got running, we got idle, now we gotta do jump. So that should just be this. Although, if I do that, it's only gonna play the jump animation when I jump. Yeah, it doesn't even stay that way. So this, I think, should go here. Yes? I think so. Nope, not playing it. Why? Okay. Oh, just make sure, I guess, my velocity, whoops, typo, velocity dot y, it's less than 0, then I want it to play my jump. Will it play? Nope, still not doing it. What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, wait, did I call it jump or jumping? There we go. Classic rookie mistake. Oh, still not working. No, that's why. Here, so if not on floor. There we go. So now I have not as floaty of a jump. Okay, the jump frame looks a lot better than I thought it would when I was drawing it. I was like, at least it fits in the frame, but that actually looks pretty fluid with the rest of the character. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so now that we have obviously the collision working, the controls moving, let's build a bigger world. How much time do we have right now? Okay, so it's 4:30-ish now. I got maybe about half an hour and then I gotta go do other stuff, but this is pretty darn good for just an hour and a half of work. Oh, I need a drink. Okay. Right. So save everything so far. And build the world. So main. And I should just be able to plot a bunch of extra tiles, so let's do that. I'm gonna swap these ones out for this. Okay, so bigger world, but I can't interact with it. I need to change the camera, which camera is going to be following player, so it should be part of the player branch and not just part of the world. Camera, camera, camera. Yeah, not sure. And yes, thank you, Wyatt, for taking care of that. Camera, camera, how do I program this again? Okay. Alright, so camera's here. But is it actually gonna follow? No, it's not following yet. Okay, so I set it as the current camera, which is good. Only problem is... Alright, thank you, Andre. Okay, so the camera does follow. The only thing is, if this was strictly a horizontal world, that bobbing is gonna be a problem. Let's see if I can lock it. So limit. So keep that there. And then the right, the screen is... Oops. Go the right way. Okay. No, that's not doing anything. My guide says to set it to 500, but I don't... 5,000, sorry. So let's try that and then see. Some drag margins. I am not familiar with that. Okay, so... Huh. Maybe I'm using an older version or a different version of Godot, but yeah, I see it here. I think the drag margin for horizontal. Oh, it's smooth. Smoothly stops when reaching limits. Let's turn that one on. Right. I see. Okay. I think for a game like this one, it's okay. Back margin. Ah, there we go. Wonder what happens if I change this to maybe point. I want to see what it looks like. I've never played around with these settings, so let's just see what happens when I change the values. Okay, so that's definitely not gonna move. Might leave it at the 0.5. 0.75 was pretty close to the edge there. If I were to have enemies, that would definitely be too much of a surprise. Let's see. Okay. All right. We got a fun little game going. I think that's pretty much the gist of the classroom sample that I usually have to do when it comes to the platformer. Let's see if there's anything else I could be cleaning up. Okay, I guess the only thing is if I didn't have this here, I would just want to limit my character from being able to fall off the side of the world, but it's fine. I threw a bunch of bricks there. We can leave it at that. Okay, so I think we're good there. Let's see what were my stretch goals for this? Lives, enemies. Oh, I meant to also include collectibles and scoring. Okay, so let's do the collectibles. That'll be quick and easy enough to draw. So I'm gonna open up a new Inkscape file. And I just want a jelly bean. Jelly bean. And just a single jelly bean will do, just to draw it and then duplicate it in multicolors. Okay. So document size. This is a digital game, not CNC work, so I'm gonna set this to pixels. And it's just gonna be tiny in comparison to the character, so let's do it 50 by 50 pixels at best. Probably be a little bit shorter, but I want to make sure I have the width correct. And yeah, let's start drawing. Kind of a box, almost like a macaroni noodle. And we'll set this to a thin line. Oh, it is as thin as it can be. Okay. Makes sense. I'm super zoomed in right now. node edit tool. Smooth that out. Curve these corners. Alright, we got our jelly bean for the most part, the shape of it anyways. Do I want it this side or this side? We'll do this side. Go and put a little light gleam there. So that's just another quadrilateral shape, four-sided shape. That look okay? No, it looks a little too sharp. Let's color it in and then see what it will look like without the outline. Red. Classic red jelly bean. And remove the outline. Whoops. Yeah, those are way too pointed. Smooth those out. Do. Okay. It looks a little too small. Let's make it bigger. I don't want it to be too white. Let's decrease the alpha on it. Okay. This is going into platformer. Graphics. Bit translucent. Ah, you mean like a gradient? Yeah, we could see if a radial gradient will work. Because a linear would make it really awkward, I think. Gradient tool's over here. Ah. Yeah, I was thinking actually doing a second piece to it. So this one, no outline. The fill for this one, turn off. Oh. Make this one a little bit darker side there. Gee, I don't want... Make this one a little bit darker first. Duplicate, no outline, and we're going to use the dynamic offsets. Not a lot of people understand But if you're just scaling something, it doesn't retain the same proportions as the object it originated from. Yeah, thank you. I've been working exclusively with it for, I would say, almost 10 years now. It's like I get to use a vector drawing program for free and not have to pay a monthly subscription. Heck yeah. Um, and also teaching when you have kids that come in from like low income housing and they really want to make games, but of course they can't afford really fancy software. It's kind of a deterrent. It's like sad. Like, yeah, you should be able to explore all your interests and money shouldn't be the object. So um, made it a point to really learn Inkscape, so I can show people like you don't need to spend like hundreds of dollars to make anything amazing. You just have to practice and be good at it. Um, okay, so from afar, I'd say that looks pretty darn good. So let's save that, and I'm gonna rescale, group this, make sure my width is 50, and I'm gonna resize my canvas to fit it. There we go. Um, right, so now we got a jelly bean. Let's bring it into Godot. It's already here, but I need it on the map. Let's see if I still have my notes on like planting multiple pickups, cause don't really want to be. Well, let's see here. I don't want to have to make separate branches for it. Yeah. And then I'll have to map them out. I distinctly remember doing something along those lines. Yeah, I might do a little bit of a bob animation. But let's start with actually getting it to show up and function, because the animation is just a couple of lines calling it in. It is it's a rigid body because it's not meant to move, just exist. Yeah, I suppose if I'm not actually moving it, and like it doesn't have to move. Area. Whoops. Area. We'll swap out for an animated one later, or actually, I could use an animated one. Even with a single frame, so might as well just use that right now. Rid of that. And collision. And collision. And I don't really have to quite get super fancy with the collision bounds, but I might as well. Mhm. Okay. And a true test of knowing whether or not you write good notes is whether or not you can go back to it 2 years later and be able to follow it. I do not remember anything here. Mm-hmm. Now to remember my collision. Okay. So with this class, they intentionally want to not use signals when possible. So just to get the students scripting as much as possible. And understanding what the scripts are for. So I guess I only have the notes for that. Right. I guess I'm gonna do kinda, yeah. So I'm gonna be running summer programs and teaching like introduction to game design and programming. So to start molding the brains and getting them to think like game developers and not just copy pasting stuff that they see. Because at that point you're not teaching. You're not teaching them anything. They're not going to understand. And by the end of the week, they're going to go home and be like, I don't know anything. And they would have wasted an entire week of their summer. So. Only thing is, I have spent most of my time drawing and doing 3D modeling, so I really need to get back into practice with all of my 2D programming. Collision 0. No, I want something else, not that. Where is it? I think it really depends on how people explain the signals. But I can also understand that it can be a bit of an abstract concept for some, especially if the signals themselves are worded kind of vaguely, then you're unsure if it's actually going to perform the thing that you're wanting it to or hoping it will. I sworn I had a script for this in my records, but I can't seem to find it in my notes. There we go. And then if it's in group, get slide collision. Whoops. And then I want it to be removed. Although, is this going to remove me or the jelly bean? I guess I'll test it and find it out. Nope. I did type it correctly, yes. Yeah, so if it's in the group jelly beans, it's like collision, and then Q free. Hello, Ace Attack. Welcome to the channel. Not precisely. It's the GD script is kind of like a homebrew language for Godot specifically, but it's mostly formatted similar to Python. So the commands and structure, some of it parallels really closely to Python, but it's not exactly Python. You can get the mono version of Godot and program with, I think it was C sharp. But otherwise, yeah, you're using Godot's own language. Uh, does it have to be in here, maybe? Let me... Oops. Probably. The only thing is, though, I would be teaching without signal, so to use this wouldn't really... To use signals and then... Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna phrase this. Bottom line, boss is like, no, don't teach them signals in this class. So I gotta steer clear of that. But I'm wondering if I typed anything incorrectly. Manage groups. That is a lowercase, yeah. Unless my no, I'm in the correct frame here. I will figure this out. Actually, maybe I should check and see if I'm even detecting it. Oh wait, it's a string. I need brackets. No, not even detecting it right now. Oh, it's detecting something. It's just not detecting the jelly bean. I wonder why. Hmm. Maybe, yeah. Nope. Oh, no, I know it's detecting the ground as soon as it lands on it. So we can see that it detects the ground. Ah. Hmm. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, why? Why does it have to be like this, though? Hang on. My notes is showing... Nope, that doesn't do it either. Alright, I am at a loss here. Let's see. Do the jelly beans straight in here. Yeah, go for it. Why? Uh, Mhm. Oh, the link is not coming through. Doesn't seem so. Yeah. Wait, move and collide is also a thing. Okay. But I'm interested. Think it overlapping bodies is. Again, we're trying to avoid using any signals though. Personal preference, I would, but the classes are insisting on avoiding it for this program. How did I get it to work before though? Oh no, I was responding to Wyatt's response of getting overlapping bodies. Mm, pretty much. Okay. But seriously, how did I make it work before? I know I've done it before without using any signals. The for loop. Okay. Yeah, let's see what we can get out of this. Collide with map. It's just not detecting the jelly bean. Maybe I'll trade it out for a different shape. Boring old rectangle just for the sake of. No, I have not touched the collision layers. Hmm. Okay, so it exists in a group. Same collision layer as the player. This might be a thing I work on and try offline. And I am totally okay with that. But it's funny that it doesn't work in this game. But the game I made last week, the collision was fine. It's all saved. Is it not gonna load anything? Wait, can I just use a get collision? Yeah, I'm not too entirely sure why it's not being detected. Okay. I think I'm just gonna have to call it here. It is been streaming half an hour longer than I thought I was going to today's. And I do have to get other stuff done. But okay, good to know. My notes need a lot more work. I still need to figure out collision. I want to thank everyone who came by today, and those of you who also started following. I really appreciate it. So Saturdays are my game dev stream days. Typically, that's the plan. Unless my actual work has other plans. And then Sundays are usually playing games. Right now, Pokemon Arceus, with Wednesdays being builder games. I'm going to be switching it to Dragon Quest Builders because had an itch to play that. And 5 weeks of Terraria is more than enough. Yeah, so I'm going to call it here for today. And hopefully I see you all again next time, next week for another game dev. Or if you just want to tune in on one of the other shows, come by and say hi. Yeah. All right, well, thank you everyone and have a great rest of your day. Bye.